welcome to Astro Supersport and welcome back to the Sports Arena Sentosa, the official tournament venue for the Kopiko Purple League, which is back into its second half of Season 1. My name is Jeevan Selvanathan. I'm going to be here for the two ties that will be played out this Tuesday. I'll be joined a little bit later on by Donald Spears, our badminton pundit. But these are the current league standings after 5 matches played. As you can see, Moa City and Petaling United have come out in this second half of Season 1 and shown everyone that those big wins that they picked up in the first half of the season were by no means down to chance at all. Good performances from both of them to top the league, and of course lots of trouble for the teams at the bottom, and the team at the bottom, which is one of the teams that we're going to be watching today. That's going to be later on. Our first tie, Klang United versus Petaling Jaya. That's third in the league, taking on sixth. Should be a very interesting matchup indeed. Lots of big names coming. Simon Santoso is going to be kicking off that match as well, as you can see right here. As always, 6 matches that make up the tie: men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, mixed doubles, and then another singles and doubles in the men's. And well, some good names in there, some solid names as well. The captain, Yugendran Christian for Petaling. Simon Santoso, of course, as you'd expect Klang United to come out with a big gun, try and get some points on the table. As I said, this is tie 1. And we're just about ready here as JD, our on-court MC, introduces the teams.
Krishnan! Vontas Indramawan Saniru! Chan Kong Beng! Prajakta Sawant! Bodin Isara! Ronnie Tan Wee Long! Jagdish Singh! Nichaun Jindapon! And Woon Kok Hong! Coached by Muhammad Hashim. Assistant manager Kantaruban. And team manager Manoj Kumar. And now for the home side, Klang United BC. Your captain, Simon Santoso!
Petaling Jaya BC in the red. And here is the big gun for Klang United. Indonesian international star, Simon Santoso.
Derek Wang Zilian! Lee Meng Yan! Leong Jun Hao! Yap Chi Rong! Hua Chen Hao! Yap Yi! Coached by Jackie Cheng! And team manager, Yap Kim Hok!
The great Yap Kim Hok, team manager. On the other side, Manoj Kumar. And these are our two teams that will be facing off today. Round 6 of 11. And the first of the 6 matches to be played. And the rest of today, and of course tomorrow as well, and the day after, we'll see the other 10 teams, the 12 competing. And I think we're just about ready to talk to the managers. Before that, a quick look at the lineups. Very strong to start off with, but anything can happen in the middle. I think we're going to go down to court now with JD to hear what the managers have to say about tie number 6.
All right, we're down here on the court with the two managers. First, Manoj and Yap Kim Hock exchange pennants. All right, a lot of respect going on between the two teams now. Let's speak to Yap Kim Hock first, home side first, team manager for Klang United. In 6th place right now. You've been having a lot of success in the women's singles, but today there's a slight change. Is it strategic? Are you trying to mess up Petaling Jaya's little strategy?
Yeah, we have a few players going to the Thailand Challenge Cup. So our target is would remain as a top 8 in the KPL on the best 8 teams. Yeah.
How tough would it be today? Where do you see you're going to have trouble playing PJBC?
Yeah, we try to get more points to maintain our spot in the top 8. Yeah.
We'll see how it all goes. But right now, over to Manoj Kumar, team manager for Petaling Jaya BC. A huge win today will push you all the way to the top. How important is it? And have you been telling your players that every match they play, they must win 3-0? Is that a lot of pressure?
Actually, I don't need to remind them because they know every point is a big win for us. So we have to collect more points to catch up with Muar City. Puchong, I don't think it's not a problem because we are just few points away. So we just need to go near Muar so we can go for the top 3. Yeah.
All right, may the best team win. Managers, shake hands one more time. May the better team win. Thank you very much. Back to you in the Ivo Court commentary box. Let's get it started.
And some very significant words there from Manoj Kumar, the manager of Petaling Jaya, because what we have been watching, of course, myself and the rest of the commentary team up from the commentary box, is a lot of these teams planning strategies to either top the table or come second. But of course, being 3rd spot, Petaling Jaya, what Manoj just said was exactly right, in that he is just 3 games away from 2nd place Puchong United. So very easy target there, and that could be made up today based on some of the differentials that we've seen. So we see one of our men's singles players out, Woon Kook Hong. What he said is true. Every point does count. Every game counts a little more, though. The league table itself is structured based on the games difference, games won against games lost. And in the event of a tie of those games at the end of the season, the regular season, which will be the end of February, then the points will come into play as well. So literally it does come down to score as many points as you can for your club. If you're going to win, win 3-0. If you're going to lose, lose 3-2. That would be one of the main themes, I suppose you could say, for this type of team event. Not as easy as it is because 11-point systems, as we've seen, very fast moving, and just a tiny lapse of concentration and that game's gone. So he also, of course, talked about catching up Muar City. Well, Muar City are sitting comfortably at the top of the table right now with a 44 game difference, plus 44. That's 79 games won and 35 games lost. Puchong in 2nd with 35, so a 9 game difference. And we have seen some big hauls from these match days. Muar City obviously setting them up. They had a plus 14 off one single match the other day. And of course, there is a flip side to that. There is a victim to that as well, and that has generally been Bangsa Hawks, who are sitting at the bottom of the table with a minus 55 games average. So perhaps this inaugural Kopiko Purple League season will be beyond that stretch. But there is another thing to aim for, and that's the Champions Challenge on February 5th at Genting Highlands. As we look at the ranking of Simon Santoso, 9th in the world, highly skilled. He's been to every tournament that you can think of. And he's the barrier and the blockade that this man, Woon Kook Hong, is going to have to face. You can see the ranking immediately, the massive difference. It's not the biggest, but someone ranked 175th in the world is going to find a prospect like Simon Santoso very difficult indeed. But getting back to the Champions Challenge, February the 5th, the top 8 teams from the 12 that do compete in the Kopiko Purple League will be heading to Genting for a very special challenge. Wong Yinzi, umpire, and Ian Spear who we see a lot of as service judge and umpire. Tight-knit officials team, and they've marshaled all the action on the initial 5 match days. So let's get match day 6 underway and see if Petaling Jaya can indeed take away 3 games from these 6 matches. A net difference, of course, and catch up Petaling United. But don't forget, Petaling United will be playing their 6th match as well. So it is a constantly evolving and moving process. Game 1.
Right, Petaling Jaya BC, represented by Boon Kok Hong. And on my left, Klang United BC, represented by Simon Santoso. Petaling Jaya BC to serve. Love all, Clay.
So an early mistake, and you could probably expect to see more of them. Someone ranked a lot lower. Now what we have noticed is that the more established stars, the advanced, more experienced stars, had a bit of difficulty warming up to the court and environment conditions here at the Sports Arena Sentosa. But now, as we move through the second half of the first season, as you just saw there, great control of the point from Simon Santoso. And he hasn't had to shift out of first gear yet, but that first gear is so effective. Moving the length of the court, moving his opponent around, and finally delivering a shot that's just beyond his reach. 3-0. We love in the game, and what they'll be looking for is 3-0 from this match. He had a variety of shots he could play from there. The drop shot was so close. The vertical lift was the only option for Boon, sorry. And he could pick whatever smash. He went for the disguise drop in the end. A very nice one. Now that was what we've been seeing a lot of in the Kopiko Purple League. Perhaps one wouldn't have had the chance to fire a smash like that down the line to Simon Santoso in another tournament. And here he will have his chance to shine. His first attack at the scoreboard. And I think just on that last shot we saw the next gear that Simon Santoso can get into. But a lot more crispness of play coming from Boon's side, which is good to see. I think he believes. And so if he can just match that belief to the execution. But the important point is that he's doing this at 8-1 down. So in no way is he fearing or being overawed by his opponent. Again, the vertical lift, the only option from a drop shot that close. And this time, instead of the disguise drop, was the full smash. Solid play. as you'd expect from a world number 9. Another important difference that we've noticed between the experienced game and the less developed game is awareness of the lines. And really, this has been a very good performance, even if it was to a lesser ranked opponent. Simon Santoso has shown here that he can pick his spots, control the game, manipulate the tempo, and make the most of any unforced errors as well. 5 minutes, it took him 11-1. A great way to start for Klang United. Yeah, they are in 6th at the moment. And we're going to have a look at some of those unforced errors now. Now, it is a bit, especially those 4 drop shots at the net, while they were so well placed by Simon Santoso, so we can kind of discount those, but the other 3, definitely he could have pulled those in. Those lengths and drives. 7 of those 11 points given away essentially, but that's a very harsh term. And as I have been pointing out over these match days, and I like to get my points in at some point, unforced errors in a game as fast as badminton and with such intricate detail, very difficult to calculate whether it was forced or unforced. Same thing happens in squash, funnily enough. But what those stats don't take into account was the extra effort he was putting in from points 6 to 11 when he was still only had 1 point on the scoreboard, and that I think is a better indicator of what he's trying to do. But the world number 175 will always make more unforced errors than the world number 9. Well, most of the time. Now this is a nice little bounce back, and I think this follows on from what I was saying. He ended that game much stronger than he started, and now he's beginning to find his own angles in. That was a very nice drop. Just those lengths that seem to be troubling him.
Service over. 1-2.
I can tell you one thing, if he does get to, say, 4 or 5 points, then we definitely will see that second gear in full motion from Simon Santoso. He knows how important it is to win 3-0. I'm sure he'll give it a go. And another brilliant shot from Moon. So, he has read the first game, even though he lost it 11-1. He's come back, and these have not been accidents. That was a very nice winner. And again, just forcing the issue a bit more. Helped a bit by the net. I think when those net clips happen, it does change the tempo of the game. It does affect actually both players, not just the one that has to receive the shuttle. So perhaps we can excuse him. But if he keeps hitting those lengths too long, those lifts too long, or those mid-drive pushes too long, then it's definitely going to be human error. Right now, though, much, much better performance, or an improving performance from Woon Kok Hong against Simon Santoso. Still no threat, I think, from what we've seen of an upset. I think Simon still has enough in his game and experience to pull out of a hole like this. So let's just see if this opponent of his can keep improving his game. Well, there you go. Well done. 4-2. Service back with him. I think we can say he's giving as good as he's getting right now. Wow, that one had too much sting on it. It was actually a half-decent return in any case. But that's what I meant about Simon Santoso. He can force the issue himself. And generally you'll find that more experienced players, when they get closer to games that they have to win, settle into this very solid system. Oh, it's an odd bit of movement there from Simon. You don't usually see him going the wrong way. That was a clear winner. I was just saying that Simon Santoso doesn't usually go the wrong way. He reads the point well enough. In the middle of that point, he had to check himself a bit, but he was in the right place at the right time. This shot here was just too good. 5-3. He set himself up back nicely for that. Wow, that was well snatched. Oh, I think possibly, no. Look for a second, as if he may have faulted at the net. But no, pulled back, I think we'll see it from here. No, definitely not. So just snatched it, again, switched up the tempo, and before you know it, Woon has the shuttle about 4 feet behind him, which is impossible to return. That might be a good strategy for Simon at this moment. Just draw him into the net and then lift him, clear him, and drive him onto the baseline. Vary that up with a couple of net drops. The unforced error total, I can tell you now, is 3 to Simon and 9 to Woon. That is a respectable return from Simon. We're into the second game now, don't forget. Just 3 unforced errors, that's not bad at all. 4. 7-4 though. Different story in the second game. Oh, quick look at the sky. I think he knew that that backhand cleared. It was just slightly off. And when I say slightly off, I don't mean in its result, in its technique. That one's wide. So we've seen the last 3 points. A drop shot to the left that didn't make it, and also that smash to the left that didn't make it. So more errors creeping into Simon Santoso's game. I think even those drummers are looking to find some rhythm, just like the players are. The drummers, of course, sitting in the Petaling Jaya camp. Well, if they haven't found the rhythm, then certainly Woon Kok Hong has. 9-5. Just 2 points away from winning a first important point for his club. I can just see that Yap Kim Hock is actually having a quick chat with Simon Santoso, perhaps a bit of advice. I mean, the level of advice would be incredible, from a legend to a world number 9 as to how you would fix this game. Which is again testament to the great performance that's been put in by his lesser ranked opponent. And this is exactly what the Kopiko Purple League is all about.
Fault.
That was fault anyway by racket touch, but it really is about stars like Simon Santoso and Lee Hyun-il and all the others that we've seen. Some 38 new players have actually turned up for the second half of season 1. It's about them going up against the natural badminton world unknowns who could do that to them. So, game point and well earned for Woongok. I can promise you this, if this falls to him, will spark a reaction from Simon Santoso. There's no doubt about that. You may have already seen that at the start of it now.
Service over. 7-10.
He has the skills in him, by the way, obviously, to even rescue this game. Don't forget, he's only made 5 unforced errors in the last 30 points, so pulling off 4 straight points for him won't be hard. And there's another one. Actually get that on, so in 29 points, he has committed 5 unforced errors. So you can take from that that winning the next 3 isn't that unlikely. And it's been unforced errors that's getting us closer to that conclusion. This is the difference. This is what experienced players can do. Turn your own game against you. That one's white. Now, I was just saying that he's not happy, obviously. I was just saying that near the end of games, experienced players can settle into a pattern where they're almost perfect. It's very solid, very safe, and he was doing that for that point until that smash. And he expected it to go in, for sure. It didn't. He lost. And that fist pump is well earned indeed. 1-1. Important advice. Coming down to a player that's already doing very well. So you could call that a mini upset, I suppose. A lot of these experienced stars, big stars of the badminton world, have come here with the expectations from their clubs to win 3-0 and give them those important boosts in picking up points, which ultimately will elevate their league standing table. So you can bet that the managers deep down would have not wanted that game to be lost to an experienced star, and to Simon himself. I'm sure he would have preferred to have come out and delivered the best for his club, which is a straight 3-0. Technically in 11-0, 11-0, 11 love, 3-0. That's the best possible gift you could give to your club. It hasn't happened yet. That we've seen a lot of things, a lot of statistics happen in the first 5 match days that have defied belief. Clean 18 points, 6 wins, 3 points from each win. A lot of people didn't think that was going to happen. That's already happened 3 times, if I can remember, yeah. Of course, if you want all the details on the table and anything that's happened, all the results as well, take back all the way through all the match days, then get onto the official website, www.purpleleague.com, or tune into Racket on Mondays at 10 p.m. on Astro Arena, and you can watch all the matches, of course, live and exclusive, and then they're repeated as well on Astro Supersport 3, channels 816 and 834. Now that spark I was talking about has come in terms of the points, but not through anything spectacular that Simon's done. He's just, again, willing to play the unforced error game with Wu, but was outfoxed there by another great shot. Now that's a better backhand clear. Unlucky, unfortunate, good movement, good attack. He's not making it easy for Simon at all, and that, well, he's not that far off. Having a really solid game, a game solid enough to catch up. That's in. It is tough for the younger players, less experienced players. You don't really know how to address a situation like world number 9. Do you attack? Do you soak up the pressure? It's a risky game when you know that he can hit any point on the court.
4-2.
What Woon has done so far is essentially just a bit of both. Been very impressed with his outright winners so far. 4 of them. Still taking a couple of extra steps to get around Woon, as you'd expect, I suppose. Oh, the disguise drop didn't work. Especially when he's approaching the net, you can see that he's taking a couple of extra steps. And he seems quite happy here, with the exception of that shot. 5-2. Again, no racket, no hand, no shuttle may touch the net. Clearly in, very well executed. Well, Simon will be feeling a bit better of himself now that he's managed to reimpose his game onto this. What a beautiful return from Simon Santoso. That's the kind of shot that I've been talking to with Gui Lin. Of course, she was in the commentary box with me. Daniel Nason, the manager of the Hong, and of course Donald Spears. That shot that can change defense to attack. It's one that clears you of danger but puts your opponent in just as much danger. And that was a great example. Good contribution of points so far for Simon Santoso, 8-3, but he will face this serve. The serve's so important because it does give the server the opportunity immediately to control the point off the third shot. And in that case, the first shot was good enough. The second shot didn't work. Shots in the rally, of course. And there's another one. Well, slight shake of the head there. To Simon, of course, it is really about precision. It's about making sure his own game stands. You could say that for any sportsman in any discipline, all sports, you could focus on your game and make sure your game is as best as it can be, and then everyone will just fall in front of you. It's a kind of philosophy that, of course, raised Lin Dan and Lee Chong-wei to the form that they've got to, which is untouchable in days, most days. And it's a kind of target that Simon Santoso would be looking for as he wins back serve here, 9-6. Again, just shots with a little bit too much depth, a little bit too much length, but enough to trouble his opponent, knowing that his opponent at 175th in the world will not have the capability, or should not have the capability, to return them. So they go down as unforced errors, but they were implied. Pushing your opponent around. Good return. He's fighting for it. And that one's in. Beautifully nicked at the net. Clawing his way back. Doing exactly what I just said in the first game that really experienced players could do, which is just halt the game at its critical point, 8 or 9, and then just start bringing in winners and capitalizing on errors. Well done. Can he keep it going, though? Yes, he can. Good forcing. The drop shot essentially gave him the momentum of the point, and it wasn't the most killer of smashes, but the second one had enough angle on it that you couldn't really lift off it. 9-all. Now, what a story it would be if he could nick this game as well. That's a beautiful drop shot that has given him the chance. Well, what can you say? It's the first game of the first match. Sorry, it's the third game, sorry. The first match of the first tie on at the Sports Arena Sentosa. And we're seeing something everyone wants to see. That's just out. So we have a double game point, and he's smiling about it. That's good to see. Double game point, all points, all games at the Kopiko Purple League decided by 1 point alone. So still the chance for Woon to pull off a second game. It was dangerous. Oh, what a rally to finish it off. He tried his best. And credit to Simon Santoso for dealing with that, because he went for the delicate right at the beginning and he got that right, and then he just pushed it around. They're both playing the same kind of point, except Simon's just more adept at doing it, and that killer at the end, well, that was a question of you're in the wrong place, that's where you should be. But well done indeed to Woon Kok Hong. He's impressed a lot of people. And by winning that one game, he has at least contributed already. Simon Santoso on the end. 11-10. Would you want to be pushed around? 11-10 by the 175th in the world. He's not that kind of guy at all, I can tell you that. But as a professional and as an athlete, I'm sure he's probably expecting a different scoreline, as a lot of us were. 2-1 is a tie score, though. Don't forget the bigger picture. Never forget the bigger picture in any league system. Petaling Jaya need 3 games.
Please leave the court.
Net difference at the end of this tie, if they are going to at least match Puchong United. What they'd obviously want is about 10 or 11 games, and hope that Puchong United then have a less than stellar start, which is unlikely, when they get to the courts tomorrow or the day after. Check all the schedules, of course, on www.purpleleague.com. And of course, if that happens, if Puchong does have a bad 6th tie, and they have pulled off at least a 7 or 8 from here, well, it means they move up in the table.
Play.
Now, how is Kong going to respond now that he's shown that he has the ability to? Seen some great new stars unearthed already in the Kopiko Purple League in these first 5 match days. The 2 biggest ones, Go Junwei and Cha-Mei Kwan, in the mixed doubles and the singles, women's. Incredible talents. Cha-Mei Kwan especially, just a natural ability in mixed doubles, just 18 years old. A name that hasn't been heard of. It's been unearthed right here.
Fault.
2-love. Both of these points aimed at difficult to return areas. Another great winner. Outright and clear. Just make sure that Simon doesn't stretch away in this 3rd game, which would of course see him winning this match. Same spot, same smash, same result. Now they're leveled up on points as well. Smash winners, Simon 7, Woon 6. And the clear winners, he's actually 1 ahead. Wow, the net was just holding on to that shuttle for as long as it could. Unsurprisingly, with both players toe-to-toe. A fault was called. And that looked like it should have gone to Simon. 4-2 now. Again, nicked at the net. And Simon knows he's got to change the tempo of the points if he's going to win them. He's just as adept in playing the rallies. Got a couple of tricks of his own up his sleeve. Another one straight to the body. Best place if you're going to get a good return on points. I was talking to Nguyen, who was in the commentary box, former national player, of course. And she was, being a doubles player, talking about how difficult it was to return shots that are center mass. Her actual response was, you watch the video later and you realize what shot you actually played. It's not much of a reflex-based thing. While we watch a really good rally, that was to stop myself there. It was killed off in the end by Simon with two really steep angle tries. Look at that return. Just made sure. 5-all now. Another tough game. Ball number 9. And that one called in.
6-5.
Shout to all of the fans that have come down to the Sports Arena Sentosa every single match day since it's been on. And that's also down to wonderful work done from everybody that's put this together, including, of course, Dr. Jack Coe's idea it was to have this league system in badminton. He's been fighting for over a year to create this environment, which has delivered everything, if not more.
9-5.
So Simon just settling into his game. He's now 2 points away from the match. I wouldn't say he was scared in this match, but he was definitely taken for a little bit of a ride. Should be able to clear it out from here. And that gives him 5 match points. And again, if we look at the total amount of unforced errors, 13 out of possibly 50 points. So there's a very good chance, very well, statistically, that he was going to win that, and he did. So he wins it 3-1 in the end. Still a good return for his club. Not perfect, and a great platform for Petaling Jaya to build off as well, off a game we would have expected to have lost.
11-10, 11-5. Thank you.
Just a confirmation of that result. 3-1 win, 3-1 on the tie. Well done. Now let's find out exactly what Simon was thinking. He's on court with them with MCJD. Let's hear what Simon says.
All right, we're down here courtside with Simon, who just picked up a big win for his team, for Klang United. The other day, you had some trouble first 2 sets. Hari ini lebih berpuas hati dengan your performance today?
Ya, hari ini kalau menurut saya dari first set, saya tampil lebih baik ya daripada sebelumnya. Dan tadi ada kendala juga di second set and then set ketiga. Tadi mungkin saya sedikit agak lambat ya dari tempo permainan dan saya coba untuk di last set ini saya coba untuk menambah speed lagi.
So first match you played 3-2. Now 3-1. So next match 3-0.
Mudah-mudahan.
Congratulations, Simon Santoso. Back to you in the
So,
Ivory Court commentary box.
The middle of his game was a little bit slow. I think that's just his mention to the pressure he did feel, but a win is a win. Deep down, possibly a 3-0 would have been ideal, but when it comes down to league systems, wherever they're played, in whichever format, it's not really about the best you can do. Well, it is about the best you can do, it's not the best you can take from it. In football, it would be a draw. The worst thing would be a loss, of course. Here, best thing you can do is win 3-0. The worst thing you can do is lose 3-2. So both players right in the middle of that statistic as we look at the highlights. At this point, it did look like Simon was in full control, but then credit to his opponent. Stepped up his game. And this is a good example of some of that control that we've seen from so many of these experienced stars, but Simon in the peak of his form and game. Look at the movement he's forcing from his opponent there. And then straight, keep going. And if you can run over there, then you can run over there. And after that, you can run over here into this big wide open space that I've just created. That's textbook 4-point winning strategy if it works well. Of course, Woon did upset that a little bit. 13 unforced errors off the whole match. And as I said, you're talking about 50 points. That's a good return. 22. That's, I hate to say it, the reason why Woon Kok Hong would be ranked 175th. You start bringing those unforced errors down, then those outright winners, those smash winners, the 6 winners that he had, would make so much difference. But he was solid enough that he could keep going. But as boxers say, it's not about how hard you can hit, it's about how hard you are hit. So try and take those unforced errors out your game and you'll see what happens. Yap Yi and Nichan Jindapon up next for the women's singles. I'll let JD introduce them.
And representing the home side, Klang United BC, Yap Yi! And we'll have a chat with our managers once again.
We're getting down to a chat with the managers.
All right, we're down here with the managers before the start of this match, but let's speak to Yap Kim Ho, team manager for Klang United first. Yap Yi, what is her style of play like? What can we expect?
Yeah, she's a bit different with Richard. She's more on the strength and speed, but need a lot of improvement of the skill as well as the net play. Yeah.
We're going to look out for that one. A lot of net play. Will she be able to handle the challenge from Petaling Jaya BC? We have Manoj Kumar, team manager right here. We've seen what she can do on a regular circuit, but this is Nichan's first time playing the 11-point system in a competitive match. What do you expect from her today?
We had some few games on the 11 points to let her try. So even though it's a first match, I think she can deliver a point because for her, she don't take anything as a pressure. She only gives the best.
Top players are like that, right? We'll see how it all pans out. Right now, back to the Ivory Court commentary box.
Always good to see from the managers that they're not expecting the biggest and the best results from all their players, because they do, of course, understand that these players are facing the biggest games that they've ever played. A point return, which will, of course, be a game return, as we just saw from Woon Kok Hong, is good enough, really. But really, in addition to the result, you can let the management and the clubs and the team managers decide where they'll be at the end of the table. And on that note, it's the perfect point for me to introduce, talking about managers and club managers, Samuel Nason from Kapong, who's sitting right next to me. Thank you for joining me in the commentary box again.
No problem at all.
You literally synced exactly into what I was saying. Now, first of all, how has it been going since we last saw you?
Yeah, it's been going well. Kapong is, of course, supposed to play again on Thursday. We're really preparing for that game.
Got to be tough for that, huh?
Yes.
Quick schedules. I was going to say the same thing about Klang United, actually. They've been coming out a great deal. So the preparation's going well for that?
Preparations are going well for it. Of course, Klang, we've seen missing some of the players that they used against us.
They're going to Thailand, right?
Yes,
that's
Bangkok.
Right. There's another international conflict. But what did you think? Of course, the last time we saw you, it was just at the beginning of the fifth ties in Puchong, and Moa came out again with big wins.
Yes.
Moa especially. So, you know, I know that you're wanting to climb up the table. Was that quite change strategy?
It's a heartbreaker.
Yeah, I suppose it's the passion of the sport, really, and it has to happen. But we just saw, I said, Manoj Kumar came out and said the same thing, that they are expecting to at least close up on Puchong today.
Yes.
Because Petaling Jaya in third, of course. Klang in sixth. Now, the women's singles. Now, I'm sure you watched the match just now. It's a good performance from Woon Kok Hong. Took a game off Simon Santoso. Very solid.
Yeah, I was watching him play. He was absolutely superb in his performance.
Yeah,
Showed
really.
no signs of fear, intimidation whatsoever.
And that's what I was saying. I mean, there's points you can win, but I don't think any manager, and yourself included, would expect 3-0 from players that have been growing up and kind of...
Not with this 11-point system.
Yeah, you just want a good performance. You want to see the good areas of the game taken care of. Now let's see if those areas of the game can be shown by Yapi and Nichon Jindapon. Nichon in the blue and white. Yapi in the red. Any background on these players, Samuel, that you can share with us?
Jindapon is actually one of Thailand's top players.
Right.
Uprising players, playing with one of Malaysian junior players, Yapi. Has to be said, I strongly favor the Thai for this showdown.
Really? Wow, it looks like there's a fair bit of training experience already installed into both of them. Is this something that you do in the second match for the Thai? Just make sure there's a solidity to it?
Yeah, the women's singles is of course going to be always the second match of the Thai.
Yeah.
Want to put someone solid in, and I think that's exactly what PJ manager Manoj has done.
Looks like that's what both have. Both based on the first couple of points. Nice tempo to the game. I wonder as to which of these ladies will step up quickest. That was a great shot. It was replied by an equally great shot.
Very early on, we are seeing dominance from Jindapon.
Yep.
We would expect that from her, of course.
Yeah, that drop was amazing. Both players opting to essentially set up at mid-court. Just tracking back for those clears, but generally always moving forward.
There's no challenge available. Hawkeye is not available for the Purple League.
She put her hand up.
I was not quite sure whether she actually knew that.
Maybe she